the last up for yesterday's episode. Bro, Sabrina is here. Sabrina is in the building, rocking her natural hair. But yeah, it was good to finally see her this season. It's kind of, again, been drawn out for the longest time. Are we finally going to see Sabrina? Of course, there was no Maurice, but it's all good. Boom, Sabrina's here. Let's give it up. Yes, sir, it is your boy KB, the boss from ShifterMagazine.com, here with another episode of Shifter TV Talk, where we break down the latest in some of our favorite TV shows. And so today we're talking about season 5, episode 9 of Tyler Perry's Sistas. Went down last night. But before we get into our ups and downs, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share all that good stuff to stay on top of the latest content, latest news, reviews, and interviews from Shifter. Now let's get it right into our ups and downs from yesterday's episode. Now the very first up for yesterday's episode was a conversation between Danni and Andy. If you've been following the show, you know that right now she had some kind of looming legal trouble because she, as she said, she killed a man from previous episode. She was going through kind of a physical assault, ended up, seemingly killing somebody. And so they had a good conversation, Danni and Andy, in this episode. After they find out that Danni didn't in fact kill this gentleman by the name of Jonah, they have a really good just conversation, the two of them, like a very good heart-to-heart conversation. Andy kind of holds Danni accountable for just her neglect issues and pushing Preston away when she shouldn't be. And in turn, Danni really kind of presses her on her kind of back and forth, going in circles with Gary. And so, yeah, it really is just a really nice sisterly conversation. It gave me a little bit of, warm fuzzies. So, we give it an up. Let's go. So the next up that we have is Danni finally calling Preston. Based on the conversation with Andy, she finally reaches out to Preston, who is happy to hear from her. He said something along the lines of, you know how hard it's been to every day to not call you. And so, yeah, she opens up the lines of communication. They decide to finally talk after drawing out this whole storyline for it seemed like 5 episodes. They're finally about to talk, finally about to meet up at her place. Seemingly, she's probably going to tell him about the whole situation with the guy named Jonah, which may spark a whole bunch of other drama. So yeah, Danni finally calling Preston. Boom. We give that an up. Now, my third up, and it seems like Danni's a part of all these ups this episode, but the whole scene between her and Q in the airport. There's been quite a few episodes in the past few weeks where Q kind of pulls up at her little kiosk there at the airport and kind of decides to kind of keep her company, and they kind of do these go back and forth and take jabs at each other. Mostly Danni taking jabs at him. But yeah, so this episode she's not having it. She's really just not in the mood because of everything that's happened. And Jonah turns up at the airport right in front of her kiosk, basically where she first met him, sitting there staring at him. And she, if you follow the storyline, she hit him, he hit her. And so out of reaction, she kind of beat him up, ran him over a couple of times. He ends up with broken ribs and all that kind of stuff. And so he comes to the airport right in front of Danni's little kiosk there, just gives her like the evil eye, some cut eye, stares her down. And Q's wondering, what's wrong with this guy? And so Q kind of goes into protective mode, even though he might have an ulterior motive of wanting to get fired from the job. He kind of checks Jonah a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shows him the ankle monitor and shows him like, I'm about that life. And kind of gets a little bit protective, like, why is he looking at you crazy? Was kind of willing to step in and protect Danni. So, Q's been a bit of an ass. He's been a bit of a jerk, the past number of episodes. But this episode is like, they may actually be making me like Q. It was a great scene. I like seeing that side of him. So boom, let's give it an up. Now the next up, bro, I never thought I'd see the day where I have an up that features Aaron. But yes, this week we're giving Aaron an up because I really liked the scene between him and Karen. He comes over. The down, we're going to give the down, is that Miss Lisa, Karen's mom, called Aaron over to the house, called him 5 times, invited him over to the house. So that gets it down. But yeah, they end up having an actual good scene. Like Aaron and Karen, they have a good moment. And she ends up asking him for his phone. She's going through his phone to see if, does this guy actually have anything to hide? He obliges. He came over to cook for her. A little bit corny. He's like, I want to treat you like a princess, like the princess you deserve, and some line like that. Super corny. Not giving it a down necessarily, but it's Aaron, so it's you can expect some corniness when Aaron's in the scene. But yeah, overall, it just really ended up being like a good scene between the two of them. It's like almost like during that scene, you really see that these two have the potential to have a good relationship. Like they're smiling with each other, a little bit of banter. They're kind of bonding over the fact that Miss Lisa's a little bit like over the top right now. Aaron's kind of in on the joke, just like like your mom's kind of she's doing her thing, So just watching them two have that little bit of friendship and banter back and forth, smiling with each other, I thought it was good. So boom, we give that an up. And the last up for yesterday's episode, bro, Sabrina is here. Sabrina is in the building, rocking her natural hair. But yeah, it was good to finally see her this season. It's kind of again been drawn out for the longest time. Are we finally going to see Sabrina? Of course, there was no Maurice, but it's all good. Boom, Sabrina's here. Let's give it an up. Now, the only other down that I had was the scene with Hayden and this girl Heather. I think her name was Heather. The girl who's the alleged baby mom of Zach. She said she's pregnant with his baby. So she comes to the law office. Fatima wants to know what's going on with this girl. Turns out she's meeting Hayden, and it looks like we might have some legal action, a lawsuit against Zach. With him allegedly being the father of her kid. Bro, some scheming is going on in the office. It's going to make for a good, sub storyline. Since it seems like things with Gary and Hayden are kind of slowed down a little bit. Hayden has another storyline with this girl Heather, bringing more, being more of a menace again to Zach and Fatima's life. We're gonna give that a down, people, and that's it for this episode of To Shifter TV Talk. We'd love to hear from you. What are your ups and downs from this past episode? Let us know in the comments. And once again, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to like, to comment, to subscribe. If you want to see more news, reviews, and interviews from Shifter, we also got a playlist, people. We got a playlist on our YouTube channel with all of our Sistas or Tyler Perry Sistas content. Make sure to check out the whole playlist. And that's it. Once again, it's your boy KB the Boss from ShifterMagazine.com. I'm out. Peace.